Welcome to Shail's Kitchen, home of good food and good memories. Here's what's cooking in Shail's Kitchen today. Spinach and feta cheese pies. Here are the main ingredients we'll be using for our spinach pies. We have puff pastry sheets, feta cheese, chopped spinach that's been thawed out, some onions and garlic, and salt and pepper to taste. Now, one of the things you have to watch is the salt factor, because a lot of feta cheese sometimes has quite a bit of salt in it. So you're going to want to taste that, because there's a chance you might not need to add any additional salt. So one thing that's important to do is when you take your spinach out of the package, you would want to squeeze that additional water that's in there, because you don't want your filling to be soggy at all, because that's going to mess up the puff pastry and the whole texture of the spinach pies. So just make sure you give it a good squeeze and get all that excess liquid out of the spinach, so you get a nice dry ball of spinach there that you can use to make your filling. The first thing you want to do for the filling is, in a nice large skillet or fry pan, just melt some unsalted butter. This is sweet cream unsalted butter in some extra virgin olive oil. Once your butter is melted, then you're just going to add your onions and your garlic. This is on high heat, so I'm just going to saute this for about a minute or so. I turn my heat down to medium, and now I'm going to add my spinach. I'm going to cook this down for about 5 minutes. If it looks like your spinach is sticking to the bottom of the pot and might burn, just reduce your heat down to like a medium-low. It's been 5 minutes now, so the last thing I'm going to do is I'm turning the heat down to low, and I'm going to add my feta cheese to the spinach. That was about a cup of feta cheese. Now I'm just going to stir all of this together, and this is the point where I'm going to want to taste it to see if it has enough salt, and I think it will, because we use this feta cheese a lot and it's really good. Doesn't have a super high salt content, but very nice flavor. I tasted the filling and I wanted a little bit more of the feta cheese flavor, so I added another half cup. So that will be 1.5 cups in all for the feta cheese. And now it tastes really good. No need to add any additional salt. I've taken the filling off the heat, and you want to make sure that you cool it really well before you start filling your pies. In preparation for making your pies, line a nice sturdy baking sheet with some parchment paper. Use a sharp knife, and I think I'm just going to cut these into 9 equal portions. So I'm just going to go down the length of it like this, and then that's the timer for my oven. I'm preheating the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I'm taking each of my individual pieces of puff pastry, and I'm just stretching them out a little bit. You don't need it to do it too much, but I just want to make sure that it's nice and pliable. Once I put the filling in and get ready to close it up, it'll give me a little bit of stretch to make my pies. I'm just going to work from one edge and just pull the pastry over. just press it together on the edges. And just continue doing that until you have all your pies sealed. One little tip, I like to kind of like squeeze my filling down, so try to get it to the edges. And also you could just pick up each pie individually and just give it a pinch with your fingers all the way along the edge to make sure that you have a nice seal. And don't worry if it looks, like we say in Trinidad, obzocky, because that's all right. Another lovely term for that is rustic. We have a lovely rustic feel to our spinach pies. I love rustic. So now our pies are all filled, and I'm going to pop them into the freezer for about 10 minutes or so, because I want them to get nice and chill before I stick them in the oven. Now our pies are nice and chilled. I just took them out of the freezer. Remember, I had them in there for about 10 minutes. Now, one last step. I have a beaten egg here. And what I'm going to do is just take a pastry brush, and we're just going to give it a little egg wash. And just do that with all your pies. And once you're done, just put it in the center rack of your oven. It's been preheated already to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. These should take probably about 20 minutes on the average. Since they're small, I think I'm going to check them maybe around 15 minutes because they might be done. But I do want a nice crust and a nice golden brown on my pies before I take them out of the oven. And don't worry if you get some drips of your egg wash on your parchment paper. It's not going to hurt anything. The timer just went off, so let us check out our spinach pies. Oh yes! Oh my gosh, this looks beautiful. Gorgeous. And here comes the best part. Let's give it a taste. Lovely crunch. And even though we squeezed out all the spinach, you still have a nice moist filling with the feta cheese. Delicious. These are so great as a snack for appetizers and, you know, just any time of the day, really. As for me, I'm having one for my breakfast. Or actually two. This is my second one. Breakfast never has to be boring, guys. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Shail's Kitchen. And follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. Thank you for spending your time with me, and I look forward to seeing you next time on Shail's Kitchen, home of good food and good memories.